I'll tell you what. How's it going, everyone? It's Adam Corcoran with 3 at 3. We have a super exciting episode today. My guest, Rebecca. Rebecca, how are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Awesome. So, just wanted to come on here and really put into some perspective of coronavirus, right? I mean, and a lot of people that we've been bringing on to our segment have been more so geared towards like different senior living communities, but from more like the marketing directors or the executive directors. You are the director of nursing. So do you want to introduce yourself and just tell everyone a little bit about who you are?
Sure. I'm Rebecca. I'm the director of nursing at Memory Care of Naples. I've been here in this position for a bit over a year now. I'm also a certified dementia practitioner.
Awesome. So tell me a little bit more. What does that mean, certified dementia practitioner?
Well, I have specific training related to Parkinson's, dementia, all the behaviors, and the additional care that goes along with caring for people with memory deficits.
And super important being in a memory care community here in Naples. So I have to ask, we're in August, right? I remember I was talking with someone yesterday and they said, don't you remember in March when you're like, oh my gosh, I can't wait till April gets normal, right? And now we're in August and we're like, oh my gosh, what is normal, right? So from a clinical perspective, can you touch on just a little bit about how you've shifted into your day-to-day? How are you managing your employees? Is it difficult getting, equipment and supplies? Talk about some of those obstacles, and just since March up until now, how has it been for you?
It's definitely been different than when it was before. I mean, thinking back this time a year ago, we're in a completely different position. The day-to-day routines are just so different. I look back on photos from previous activities and things that we would do with the residents, and I'm like, look at everybody just sitting together, no masks, like no social distance. It kind of makes you miss those times. But definitely in the day-to-day, it's made things, I would say we pace a little more because you really have to take your time, follow the infection control procedures like to the T, socially distance everything. I mean, even clinically, like anyone in this business knows the struggle of getting PPE and things like that. We've really had to get creative. It's just not as simple anymore as, your usual Medline or McKesson just ordering from the manufacturer. You have to branch out, find other avenues. Everything has changed quite a bit.
All right. Now, obviously, it's hard to predict of like how long this is going to be, or, I mean, do you think is there light at the end of the tunnel from a clinical perspective, or is it still kind of week to week?
I mean, I do think there is a light at the end of the tunnel. It might not be anytime soon, but I do think there will be some type of resolution. Although I think COVID itself has really changed. I think when people use the term like the new normal, I do think even after this has passed, whatever the resolution is, I think we will see some long-term changes just from how drastically COVID changed everything for us.
Sure. And I think even in the home care space, like we somewhat look at this as, and I hate to look at it as an opportunity, but to some respect, we have to kind of shine light on some of the positives, right? So could you touch on anything from your perspective as maybe in regards to your staff or your processing that you do, in regards to down in the future, right? Years from now, is there anything that we could take away from this experience to help with a memory care community like yourself?
Well, I think during these times, the strength of the team really is the biggest positive that I've seen. Some of my caregivers, like obviously right now, we can't have any outside contractors or people in. So we were thinking, what are we going to do for haircuts for our resident? It turns out some of the staff were previously hairdressers that we didn't even know. So they're cutting the residents' hair. We have some with musical talents, putting on our own church services. It's really showed how much you can rely on the people you work with in the community, even the family members volunteering with things that they can from the outside. It's really shown that sense of community that we have here.
I think you just nailed it right on the head. That sense of community, kind of everyone coming together to ultimately serve a really good purpose and fulfill all of your goals and really your purpose of what you want to do as a community. So I think that's a super awesome, initiative to look at it from that perspective, because I mean, really it's been a tough and trying time for many people. And I get that, but I think, yeah, absolutely right. Everyone coming together with a positive outlook on things could certainly turn, a lot of perspective on this current environment. So, well, Sue, awesome. Any last remarks? Anything that you want to add about what's going on currently, or anything for that matter?
Well, I mean, to everyone who's out there working in healthcare or anywhere, really, I know it feels monotonous sometimes, like it's dragging on, but just keep pushing, keep going, all work together towards the same goal.
Right, right. And if anyone wants to visit Memory Care of Naples, my good friend Jessica, who's your marketing representative, is fabulous, and I highly recommend you checking them out. But you can visit them online right here at memorycarenaples.com or call 239-403-0826. Well, Miss Rebecca, I really greatly appreciate you coming on here today and spending some time out of your busy day. I know it's kind of crazy sometimes, but even just a couple minutes jumping on and highlighting some good and what you guys are doing over at Memory Care of Naples is super encouraging. So
Yes,
thank you so much.
thank you.
All right. Well, we'll talk soon. If anyone else wants to jump on a 3 at 3 or a Tea with Danny Z this coming Friday, don't hesitate to reach out. You can text in to 239-302-8863. But if not, we will see you tomorrow. All right. Bye, guys.